Karibuni sana to Kenyan Design Conversation. My name is Kyendereta, your amazing host. With me I have
Dave hapa.
Mose.
Yes. Na tunataka kuongelea pricing. Like for example, kuna design ya mtu unafaa kumprice how much do you
Charge.
Yes.
Charge, yeah.
Ushaikuwa na shida pricing?
Hadi leo hiyo kitu. Thank God for ChatGPT sometimes when I estimate hata kani ya majuu. Inaleta in dollars naikata na half. Napatia client, but hey, sometimes unapata underprice ama una feel overpricing too.
Lakini overpricing to the exact price ndio.
Yeah, gut feeling ni hivyo, but una feel tena umse hata ninyang'anya hii project atafute a cheaper person, especially when you're struggling to find something yenye inaweza kusaidia ku bring in money. You are desperate. Inagonga challenge sana.
See, you know someone cheaper.
I think for any designer wezi kosa hiyo inakonga constant because vile market ishakuwa created. I think uweza pata naweza mwani charge expensive then akasema I know someone who can charge me 3/4 less of your price. So I think ni perception ya market ilishakuwa created.
Ama kuna bonga na hii situation ya when ifanyie tu hii there are more opportunities na kuletea.
Yeah.
Tunafanya job more, tunaenda kufanya kazi more. Inagonga pia one of the ways unakonga sold ku underprice.
But I think the market iko so congested na amateurs wenye they are willing to charge anything. Unapata mtu ameingia design leo then ile price ni atapatiana ni yetu ya upkeep. So unapata si eti mtu ameingia kwa market just because they want to offer value. They're there just to have the money.
Very true. I've seen that a lot, even on platforms zenye ni official ka Fiverr. I've been there. Unapata na not to be racist but unapata na muhindi huko anapeana bei ingine crazy. Sijui na hao sijui kama wanakuanga industrious kutushinda. I don't understand because unaweza pata hata msee ana charge as cheap as $5 per designing, inafaa ikikuwa even cheaper is $15. Yeye anacharge hivyo ata deliver the same day na anashika projects mingi than wewe unataka kuoffer quality. Unataka hiyo unapeana price yako cause you are thinking of like itatake kama 2-3 days nipea good quality job. So unapata yeye anashika mob anapeana haraka anakukanyagia chini. So it's very true like you're saying, like unapata I don't want to call them amateurs because wote tumekuwa hapo, but unapata entry level unakuwa na desperate ku be portfolio experience na cash kitu kwa mfuko.
But I think the primary problem ni shule. Mimi nikiwa chuo sikuifunza pricing.
Yeah.
So and then unapata like mostly kama shule za first world, for them when it comes to pricing zinakuwa included kwa packaging ya tuseme kama design iko included.
Yeah.
But for us mimi ni kama nilifunzwa since nifunzo interface nikiwa college, nothing else, then that was it. So nikiingia kwa market I have to try to find a way of figuring out. The first way is I need to make sure I'm the cheapest guy in the market. If someone is charging logo 1,000, me I'm going at 500. Just because I want to upkeep myself and I want to be in the market.
Yeah.
So unapata to create that competition, someone needs to find someone cheaper. And that is the biggest problem that we have nowadays. Unapata like unless you get someone who understands the meaning and who someone is willing to learn. Like ukipata ule client mwenye unaweza mwambia I'm charging you logo for 20,000. I'm not just giving you a logo.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a whole brand identity. But unapata kuna ule mwenye anakujanga nataka tu umetenda mahali na I've seen those guys. Nataka tu umetenda mahali na kuna hii kampuni. Hata usifanye kitu ngumu, haraka tu alafu juu hata ikae kwa market. Ni ya kutuma tu utaenda peke yake. So mzee kama huyo kuargue naye mwambie nitakucharge logo 20,000. Huwezi reason na mtu kama huyo. It's hard. And I think that is almost another problem you have in the market. Then later on napata hiyo logo imetumiwa for 2 years. 2 years later unaona iko kwa billboard. Na ni uliambia natumiwa kwa dini kwa tenda peke yake. So
very very true. And it's Zulu mention about shule. So what about those people in
Na sisi
self-taught? Juu unaongea shule unafunzwa but you're not ufunzi pricing. Sisi watu wa shule ya YouTube.
in fact learn.
I think for shule ya YouTube those guys usually like unajua Ziga unajua the future. There's this YouTube the future. Crystal.
Crystal.
Actually I've been following that guy for a while. So they usually talk about pricing. Like they usually cover everything in the market. But pricing looks like there's the other one nilikuwa naona he was talking to a lady mwenye alikuwa amemcoach. So this lady moved from charging a logo from $3,000 to $20,000. And Nin can imagine Kenya telling someone you're charging them logo $20,000. That is almost 3 million Kenya shillings. Are you making any sense? No.
I think for the YouTube train of thoughts, before you run away, the problem is not about designers. I think the problem is the market and customers in a way. Talking about Crystal, kuna venye ufunda in a way that when you're charging, for example, a brand, you're not charging the visual identity and the strategy, but rather you should charge the value that is going to bring onto that company. For example, kama Nafasi Connection, you look at the value that logo is going to give them, that identity is going to give them. You sit down, for example, mtu atakwambia I have a challenge, I want to revamp my identity. Namuuliza, why do you want to do that? Anakwambia because I want to expand. Okay, unamuuliza geographically, what do you mean by that, and what are you looking at in terms of figures, customers? Akwambia niko Nairobi but I want to go to other cities. I want to go to Kisumu, Mombasa, and at least in each city ulipate wase kama so moja like sema wana 100k. You see the value that your identity inaenda ku bring, it's worth that 100k in each city. So ukikaa chini as a designer, you should be able to budget for your services that is directly proportional to the value that is going to bring to this company. So if our clients are able to learn that, like shida ni uwezi waita pamoja ati class wafunze, but if they are just able to understand that design is not about the deliveries but rather the value that is going to bring to the company, then it's going to change the mindset and how they pay. That's the biggest challenge we're having in the market.
I think it is. We have a problem with people understanding the value. They see logo just like another thing in the company, not as an identity or something that can change someone's perspective. So I think that's the best way to go. But also another problem is how many are willing to do so.
Kuelimisha client au kusikiza.
Kuelimisha client
au kusikiza. Ndio anatujanga ni kama we anakufanyia we fail. So atakaa hadi chini, I get time yako ati mniambie about this is how it goes in the market. It's a challenge.
But me personally, vile nimekuwa nikigrow kwa market, I've come to realize one thing, that sisi fanya design zote. If client mwenye nimepata, if the client is not willing to learn, then I have no business talking to that client.
Ndio mtasumbua.
Exactly. You say I'd rather get a client mwenye atanilipa nimsearch logo and identity 20,000 and lipe once then nipate 10 clients wenye tutasumbuana. Juu unajua ukipata actually this thing is actually true. Those clients wenye wako willing unaambia utancharge poster how much 5k. Okay, nitaipata lini? Nitakutumia first draft kesho tuangalie, then from there then you can move on from the changes. When client amtaisumbuana. But ule client wenye utancharge poster how much 2500. That's too much. That's a red flag. Like nowadays that's how me even vile huwa na dini clients huwa naeka kwa kichungi. If I know tutasumbua na story na pricing, afadhali ikae acha nende nilale njaa.
Speaking about red flags, I think we should mention some of the red flags. One year umesema you're like that's extortion. Like the first thing to ukipata in life at a generally, I've come to pass on my own opinion. I've come to see that mtu mwenye ubagain in the first beginning anything, huyo ni mtu hata akikupatia that kind of job you'll have to sweat because he may go to the extent of coming to meet with you to get to agree with you, so anataka sijui na bonga mindset ama ni like he wants you ama she wants you to really work and sweat for that money anakupatia. So that's the first red flag I've seen.
I think yun inakuanga shida na market. Mi wambia mtu like hii logo nikufanyia na 5 minutes, it doesn't mean that I need you to charge 500. I've been in the industry for 10 years now. I've learned so many things. That's why hiyo logo ataifanya na 5 minutes.
Ati haraka hivyo tu.
I'm charging you the experience of what I've had, not the time that I've used. So I think market, we need to find a way of changing the perspective of the market. And I think the shida ingine ni the companies don't appreciate much graphic design. And the design at all, they don't appreciate. They just see like it's just another thing in the market. It's not a big deal.
Lakini sasa watu wengi sana wanafanya tuongelee graphic design. Watu wengi sana wanafanya graphic design wakiambia mtu maybe like using nimehelp with logo 2500. For me, if I had a choice, important to buy logo too without the brand identity. But sasa huku nje watu wanalipisha 500. Wanalipisha 1000. It's just the matrix.
I agree with that. But also one thing I've come to experience this market vile anasema, first see your clients, put them through a filter. That's the first thing. The second thing is if you always just deliver quality.
Before tunasi sita.
Sasa
unaona ile alikuwa mtu ajua. Mtu wa familia.
Sema tu ni zae.
Like ikiwa familia. La samtaki kupanizana. Na anajua unaweza fanya. Hiyo ndio shida.
That's the problem. So we should also try to find you how to deal with family.
Me, I think the best way is when it comes to business, is business. Imagine you have your sister and you're running a business, and your sister wants anatakanga twedo ya kwenda kupiga sherehe, ama wewe utoange dea kwenda kupiga sherehe, the business will fall. So me naona like we need to treat everyone as a client. It doesn't matter who they are, even if it's your mother.
It's a good point.
Because by the end of the day, wewe ndio unaenda kuumia and you are trying to grow. Alishafanya yake mpaka mali yako. So they also need to understand that this is business. It has nothing to do with family. So if I tell you logo is 25k, it's 25k. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm telling you 25k. I'm bringing you the value. It's not still in a kitu just because. Wajua kama abuse ukikuja like family, I'll give you something like family and I won't charge you, of which I'll give you something engineer.
That's a good point. That's a good point, but there's one thing I want to point out for you. Aweze kuangalia ni first thing, hata personally wazai wangu wajui nafanya nini, and if even they know what I'm doing, unaget ile mindset ya Kenyans, especially that generation in here, their main serious careers, which is banker,
the boomer.
Yeah, banker, doctor, those kind of
Like kubwa.
Yeah, so imagine mimi hata mzai wangu ama madam anasikia matu kenye nafanya, but like you've said, going back to what you say, so many people don't take this career serious. So if you just sit down and wonder portray like, so whatever you're saying to them is been like, si mambo unakanga tu kwa computer unacheza na si fanya tu haraka isonge mbele na biziama. So that's the first problem. Even people around us themselves are not appreciating and getting to a level of understanding deeply what it takes in what we do and how we've reached where we are today. That's one of the challenges.
Me, there's this example huwa natumia, mtu akiniambia I'm charging cheap. Do you know how much Apple use in a year in marketing?
No, but I believe it's
Crazy amount.
Yeah.
I think it's almost $10 billion in a year. Something close in between that. This is close to $10 billion every year.
Yeah.
And if Apple wake up tomorrow no aseme hatufanyi marketing, trust you me, they'll still sell the same amount of phones they sell every year. But why do they keep on marketing every year? Because they understand the value of marketing in the market. Because at times, if they stop marketing, they'll continue selling. Then by the end of the day, people will start forgetting Apple. The same way Safaricom. If you see a green shop somewhere, what kicks in your mind? M-Pesa.
Hiyo hata mwenda sana. Coca-Cola imefika mahali hata stima haijawahi fika. Like kena mali nishepata, utapata, but kuna stima hiyo area. But they keep on marketing. They keep on reminding you we exist. And I think inakuwa ni psychologically, if you keep on seeing something, it sticks then inakuwa relevant.
Yeah. You create a perception whereby if you don't see red anywhere, you start questioning, kwani koko walifunga? Yeah, unaje ushafika at a point whereby unajiuliza ndio na Fanta mwisho lini? Kwani walienda wapi? So the value of creating a poster, of creating a billboard, people need to understand that it goes way deeper than just some few graphics on the screen. So if billboard, I tell you I'm going to charge you 50K for designing a billboard, then you need to understand why. Because by the end of the day, unatembeanga hivi unaona billboard zingine, mimi uangalianga billboard zingine ushanga hii billboard ilifikaje hapo hivi. There is one billboard inaonanga pale inakuanga hapo Ngara. Naonanga billboard fulani hapo hivyo Ngara. Billboard imeandikwa paka ume break down. Like, unajua for a billboard in a highway, you're targeting people who are on the move.
Yeah.
Si watu wanatembea, ni watu wa gari. So it's just a split second. Mtu akiangalia hivi na arudi kwa barabara, that is the person you're targeting. So if you put there everything that you do, that person won't have that time of looking at. And that is one thing that differentiates a person who will create value and just a person who will design for you for money. Because a person who will create for value, atakwambia, you need to be as minimal as possible.
Yeah, River Road hapa hivi Teketeke. Mambo iko sawa.
Jo, angalia billboards za Apple. Yeah. As much as I don't like Apple, but I usually use them as an example. Unaona tu ni iPhone, alafu iPhone 16. That's it. Yeah. Ama kama in Kenya ni authorized reseller. That's it.
Yeah.
Hakuna story nyingi ati sijui ati sell power banks, chargers, it's just iPhone 16, picha kubwa ya iPhone, that's it. So kishindo kitembea like hata msemi yako kwa gari akiangalia iPhone 16 basi isha click already kwa mind ataka. Yeah.
And do you think it only relies on the designers or like marketing team in general? Because marketing also plays a major role. Because think of somewhere where like a shop, your furniture, they are selling a couple of different things and they are all on sale. They want to display that. I think it also comes down to the team, which is marketing and design. Wakai pamoja kuangalia prioritization of what they are going to show and why they are showing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Tumombe external environments now. How it's someone else's fault that we're charging early charge. Let's talk about the internal environment. The fact that I have extra syndrome, I feel because I have this, I know this person, one of my mentors, for an app that I have OTEB'd. Ninaandika how much? 100,000. Yeah, and I quote 1 million. Na hiyo 100,000 bado na feel some type of quick by the time that my invoice. So that's supposed to syndrome.
Yeah.
Kuna hiyo fear of rejection as well.
Yeah.
By the time that my 100K I'm feeling some type of like na kiamua tu you know someone cheap or no. How can you overcome that?
Good question.
That is something you usually have most of the time.
I think most of us must have, especially hapo kwa imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome inakulimit sana, unakaa ukiona ni kama pumse atanifikiria aje, depending on even what I'm going to do. Alafu fear of rejection pia ile like uko design but I hate this job, but pia nikipata hii do inaweza kuwa fiti. Ido try kumkoti inaweza kuwa fiti.
Me, there's one reality I've just come to accept. That it reaches a time whereby that thing has to go. It has to go. Because there's no way I'm going to someone, my cousin also does design, usually tells me that if there's one thing usiogopa ni kuquote. You niambia usiogopa kuquote. You just quote no tume and you keep quiet.
Okay.
If they choose to go with you, that's it. If they don't, wachana na ikae. Look for another client. Because shida ni, how long are you going to live in fear of quoting? Just because of losing a client. How many clients are there? If you lose one client, you'll get another one tomorrow. Yeah. If you lose that one tomorrow, you'll find another one. But I think in Akonga, if I quote 50K, no msane is at all 25. So what's at 25? But by the end of the day, what kind of work are you going to do? You angalianga like, jiangalia tu mwenyewe. Before that imposter syndrome ikuje, jiangalie mwenyewe. Hii kazi unaenda kuifanya aje? Ni kazi utakuwa unafanya paka 3 AM mama.
Yeah, I think the problem is also as part of us as designers, where kucharge mse unafaa upige hadi calculation ya wear and tear of your
exactly.
Wear and tear of your machine. Kama ni computer you're using, calculate the wear and tear. Like you need to calculate to say in 2 years nafaa kwa nime change machine ama nime advance to another one. In every quote, make sure you're putting that. Kama ni camera, include that. Freelancers, especially in Kenya, we are not receiving medical cover and all these other things. Include kwa budget your quotation yako other than 10%.
There's this guy alikuwa anatuambia, if you're going to quote everything that you spend your money on your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Ukienda kwa nyumba kama kulipa acha na rent. Kama ni ile chakula, kama umekula chakula ya thao, eka kwa quote. Kama ni stima ya token ulipa ya thao, eka kwa quote. Just because by the end of the day unajua ni like we limit ourselves to charging only the value, but there are those extra things that sisi wenyewe tunalipia. Because meter charge logo thao, for example, hiyo nimecharge value logo, but kuna nare nimetumia, kuna lunch ndio nikuje nikifikiria, kuna transport nilitumia pengine kwenda ama pengine kwa cafeteria,
Red Bull don't.
Yeah, exactly. So and there's also time. Kama tuseme hii logo itanitake, kuna karibu concept 10 itanitake kama 5 hours. How much am I doing within that 5 hours? How much money have I lost? So it's hard, but it's worth it. Because by the end of the day, kuna wale clients atakutumia revision karibu, kama ujeka limit ujawambia only do 3 revision, after that else that's charging you 1,000 for a revision, of which in Kenya most of the people it doesn't work.
Jokes too.
So I think for us, we also need to find a way, for designers, we also need to find a way of saying no.
Saying no.
I'll charge you 10,000 for a logo. That's too expensive. Okay, fine, thank you. You move on. Because you will start creating the pressure inside you. Because I charge this logo 10,000, ndio mimi saa 9 usiku. Client ametuma sijui revision karibu mbao. But hata yuko sure anataka nini. So hizo ndo shida zetu tuko nazo, watu angaliangi implications ile time tunaenda kuquote.
Okay. Now that we've started talking about pricing and how to quote, right? Let's talk about pricing models. Kuna report umeanza kumention the value-based pricing. How does that work?
But hii kitu ya pricing, honestly, hii bado ni game tu kwa iko na every project I quote is just different value, but your value-based pricing, I saw it na Christo and na smart. Look at the value you're providing for them. Look at the problem you're going to solve. The problem is you guys are not visible. I'm coming to make you visible. And if I make you visible, it's going 10 times your income or 5 times your income that you receive yearly. What's your yearly income? Is a month. So imagine I'm just raising 10% of that income to solve that problem. So for example, a company inaingiza $50,000 a year as profit. Acha tuseme total revenue. Ukikuja, they want to push with the new brand to around $160,000. You get the point? $150,000 and solving that problem of $150,000, they only want to invest $5. How is that even balance?
There's one guy, I think alikuwa anatumia the same way, so alikuwa na go through na client wake, so alikuwa anamuexplainia like you want to rebrand, so how much are you making now? Kamwambia 700K in a year, and how much do you think you want to make after doing rebrand? Akasema $1 million. So that's a difference of 300K. So in that, if I charge you 30% of 300K, is that okay?
Yeah, it's way even cheaper.
Yeah. Because your target is $1 million, and what I'm just going to charge is only 30% of that. Because by the end of the day, you've already made the profit. So I'm just charging you from the profit that you want to expand it to. Yeah. So that's the kind of value
you should approach with clients, especially hapa Kenya. We should change that. I believe it can work. We can just change the approach client from a value-based pricing. I'm going to only charge you 10% of this problem. Ataangalia from anaangalia from that perspective ya the problem and what you're charging, anaona it's cheap.
But I think when it comes to value-based charging, in the market, people need to do unlearning and relearning. We need to unlearn everything that we know.
Yeah.
Because we, by default, hata ukienda ukisema una charge logo a million, hata mwenyewe utaka hii market. So we need to unlearn that if I'm going to charge a million, ni hivyo. Tuwache kutoa historia like the market has this threshold. Hapana.
Yeah.
I used to work back in Mombasa. I used to work to a tea company. They did rebrand. So it's a funny story. So instead of doing in-house, they chose to get an agency. Not in Kenya, UK. And you know the Europe market is. The company was charged £20,000. That's close, I think, to 3 million Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
And the problem is, it reached a time whereby they had to shift in-house for us to continue finishing there. Because Europe market is not like Kenyan market. For them, they'll give you 3 revision. After that, every revision is close to £1,000. So there was too much back and forth. They ended up coming back to. So that is the problem that I think we have in Kenya. That for them, when you can Europe, can be a logo need £20,000 branding. That's it. Take it or leave it.
And I also think the problem is both sides. Designers and clients, we don't understand the value of branding.
I think this is what tuko na shida. Juu inaanza na sisi.
Yeah.
And then I think but me still have hope because the younger generation are coming now. So unapata like most people are now CEOs and those guys will grow up in the older Kenya, whereby whatever to experience easy. By then it was just it was luxury.
Yeah.
Like ikikuja time ya create logo, how many people back in the 80s and 90s? It wasn't that wide unlike today. So I think the younger generation were coming up, of which in honor they're still mentored by the older generation. But one or the other, we have to find a way of making sure that
itabidi wameandaa kazi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alafu wanasemanga anyone can become a graphic designer, but not everyone can be a graphic designer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ela
Anyone can become a graphic designer. Yeah. Canva iko hapo hivyo. Naweza ingia nikachukua template nikarusha nikabadilisha kila kitu nikaweka yangu. I'm a graphic designer. But what's the value of that person in the market? Templates ziko hapo zimecreate na anyone. Napita ngatao unaona templates kwa poster. That's it. Nikiangalia unaona ni template. Ukitoka hapo hivi uende next unaona the same template. Shida tu imebadilishwa color na nini.
Content. Yeah,
but a graphic designer atakuja angalia. Hata kama atatumia template, ata deconstruct the whole template, aanze kutumia elements peke yake. Because atajua kutumia white space, atajua kutumia balance, atajua kutumia nini color palettes, everything.
Hapo na skill na talent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that is the difference.
You talked about value-based pricing. Una hourly rates. Mbona is charge per hour basi?
I think I'll go first. That's what I do. Mimi charge per hour hata kama ni project. When ni one house. Charge it per hour so that you jue, okay, ndakuwa nafanya job. It will take this long. These are this many hours I will take. Per hour I charge this amount. quote that nimepata inakonga very easy way. Like you say, for example, me, I charge 1,500 shillings per hour Kenyan shilling, moja tusongele dola. Alafu unapata kazi ni ya take 50 hours multiplied by your 50 na unapeana.
Me, I'd like to discuss charging hour. How many years have we been in the market?
It's to now 7.
7 years. You have so much experience that, of course, kitu inaweza chukua mtu mwingine 10 hours inachukua flavor. So una breaks.
Okay, to an experienced person hata inakuwa beneficial because una overestimate the hours it will take you. It will take you even less. You get the point. If you can do it in 3 hours and you're putting 5 hours, you have 2 hours on top, of which in some level in anikari in a cheat, but if you're not cheating, you're just putting a space there that if you pay breathing, because with designs and creativity separates unakaili pa machine, nothing is coming out. Creativity is not there. It's taking you longer than you expected.
You doubt.
Maybe personally, if the day I start charging per hour, I'll quit design.
Why?
Because I won't get clients.
How much per hour? How much per hour?
The problem of charging per hour is you're limiting yourself. This is like when creating company identity, I'll give you a period of 7 days. I have 7 days of sleeping, waking up, thinking, doing whatever I want to do. But if I say I'll create you company identity in 24 hours, I've limited myself. If I'm going to create within 24 hours, I'll need to charge you expensive.
Okay.
Because per hour, I'll tell you like 5k per hour. Because if I charge you 5k per hour,
yeah,
by the end of the day, I need to encourage myself to do this thing within 24 hours. But if I give you 7 days, I have 7 days of coming up with new things, coming up with new creativity.
Yeah.
I have a lot of time. And I'll charge you within 7 days as a project based rather than charging you per hour.
I get what you're driving at. But what I'm saying is, charging per hour is behind the curtains. It's you on calculating it per hour. But when you're quoting to the client, you pay per hour.
But
unampatia la project.
But unajua issue ni, it will reach at a point whereby client ataanza kukushuku.
Kukushuku aje? Kukushuku aje? Give me analogy yenye unaweza understand.
The longer you take,
exactly,
the more they'll start feeling like you just want to overcharge them.
No, you're not charging per hour to the client itself. Auendi kwa client umwambie I charge this amount per hour. No, client anatuambia nataka logo, si ndio? Nataka branding ya hii company XYZ. Utanichaja how much? Unakaa chini unaangalia, una get all the cost requirements from the client, si ndio? Unakaa chini unaangalia hii project inaweza take how long. Wewe mwenyewe na peni yako unakaa chini una calculate those many hours you think it will take you, plus your price that you think you can charge per hour. Una calculate, say for example inakuja kitu 50,000 roughly, si ndio? Unaenda kwa client unamwambia it will take me this many days, like 7 days ndio umesema, ama 2 weeks, and I'm going to charge you 50,000. au charge per hour, au mwambie like
so technically your concept is not charging per hour.
No, it's not charging per hour, but you personally, when calculating your pricing, calculate per hour. It will make it much easier to come up with a quotation.
But by the end of the day, if you calculate like that, mi naona ni kama utaanda quote.
Okay.
Because unaweza sema like logo inaweza create na 5 hours. You know I'm getting at utaanda quote.
Yeah.
You're not charging based on value, you're charging based on hours you're going to work on this logo.
Yeah.
And those are two different things.
Yeah, I understand.
Because
The problem is,
if you charge per hour,
yeah,
mi sema like there are those things wenye wewe mwenyewe tukifanya back in your mind when you're going to create,
yeah,
you're not going to create for value. You're going to create because I have 2 hours to create this logo.
yeah.
So I'm not thinking about market implication. This logo is going to create. So by the end of the day, you're going to charge 3,000 because you worked for 2 hours, 1,500 per hour. But I'm going to pengine semeo logo tuseme na charge kama project space. Na charge 20k. Hiyo ni charge value. So what a difference.
I get the difference. Well, an approach at the, like, for example, your project timelines, and understand the dynamic, but is it that crazy dynamic? Ama you just have like a structure, you understand? Maybe branding, kama ni long, simple branding can take me this time. Na kama ni short, it can take me this time. Do you have like, umekuwa market for some time, you have the experience of the speed. Get what I mean? For example, like my branding me can take me 2 weeks for si ati hivyo leo mimi nafanya, but it's an example. Branding can take me 2 weeks for a good quality value branding. You see what I mean? And then we calculate hizo hours utakaa yote hizo wiki mbili, for example. Weka per hour, price yako per hour, na unapea client the final quotation. But wewe ukikuja ku create what at your own speed, because you created a whole time frame that you can play around. Unaweza hata amka ufanye, hii ni kitu experience. Sometimes unapeanga client project ya 7 days, unakuja the last 2 days ndio ifanye na mzizi hizo zote zilizokuwa kinyebe. So I understand what you mean. You might overprice, you might overquote, underquote, and value based sometimes, like we said in our market, is not working. Kwa sababu you approach client na value, most of them atakwambia ai, si Njoroge anafanya hiyo na nini 10 bwana, shuka chini.
Lakini unajua shida ni mimi sema shida no ni client wenye huo tunapata. That's why nilikuwa nakwambia at first, you need to know your client. Don't just take any client. Trust me, ukitake any client utakuwa na depression.
I'll challenge you with that. Because client yako na network yako. Client yako na your network.
Is everyone your friend? Good question. Is everyone your friend? No. I won't be.
Yeah, I don't have friends. I only have people I know. There are people I know, they are not.
With this, everyone, okay, people you know, right? Kuna watu unaweza rely to do stuff, na kuna wengine we just reach out.
Yes.
That's the point you make it. You can't take everyone. Like, yes, your network, so your clients are your network, which is your network. But see, clunky me work.
I know, I understand. But me personally, my own opinion. That's my own opinion. The biggest plans I've gotten, and even to where I am at today, has been through the people I know. He calling Nini has never worked for me.
Or someone that your network is your net worth.
Like the people I know are the ones who have brought me clients. That continue.
But, okay, but it doesn't mean that you'll take every client. Wezi niambia like kuna client atakuja umwambie posta na kucharge 10k. Asema that's too much. Mwingine atakuja na kucharge posta 10k. Atakuuliza why, utamuelezea because of this and this and this. Akwambia okay.
Makara tu deposit.
Exactly. Kuna wale atakwambia River tunafanyonga na tao. Kwani wewe ni nani?
Of course wewe unachana yeye.
Unaweza yakwambia like ukirate some certain points ya experience. Kama mimi I'm almost clocking 10 years. Me says I'm not taking every client because I've seen the worst any client can give you.
I understand that, but I mean, yeah, you can.
So you need to weigh your even existing clients. Nilikuwa mse fulani alikuwa anasema like it reach a time whereby you have to drop off all your clients, not to tell them I'm dropping you off.
Hey, utalala njaa.
No, don't try my ways. Utalala njaa. This alikuwa anasema actually Chris Du alikuwa anasema if your current clients, you tell them, you used to charge them logo 10,000.
Yeah.
Then you tell them, I'm going to charge you 10,000 today, 20,000. And they tell you, no,
okay.
Find another client.
Yeah, true.
Because you can't be in the market for 10 years and you're charging logo 10,000 for the past 10 years. No, you have to grow. A company can be making $1 million profit every year and they're satisfied. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Leo tuliunda 1 million. Next year, this year tumeunda 1 million. What are you doing in the market? Leo tuliunda 1 million. Next year tumeunda 2 million. You need to have a growth.
Yeah, but one thing nimekuja kuweza kuchallenge also that in growing is even through network. Hizo kiku recommend the client that is coming, you should never price in the same way una price ndio what just because huyu una price hivi unaambia mzee price this one higher. Arudi kwa huyo amwambie huyo jamaa wako ni nini? Kama atakubali well and good, that's a good client to stay with.
Yeah.
Kama ataenda then it's the best way of filtering out.
Umetoa red flag.
Yeah, hiyo is red flag. So that's the way I've been growing. Kuna ule client mwenye umfanyia ka costa leo na kitu kama $15. Juu nilianza na yeye na amenibinia network fulani which is super crazy, but that network every client that comes on board naika take yangu juu, naika rate yangu juu. Yeah.
Kuna ingine na project based, the one you were trying to demonstrate. Una calculate everything, what I eat, steamer, where I tell, blah blah, time, nini. For UX designers, we probably add the number of screens, the process, process fulani, where really any fixed, any project based. Alafu kuna retainers. Watu wanampuanga tu. So maybe some now charge monthly. What do you guys have to say about those two pricing models?
Good. Retainers is a challenge. Retainers is a challenge.
I think these are more like nilikuwa na watch Suits. Then there's this guy sijui kama wana Suits.
Boy loves.
There's this first client wa nani Steve Harvey. Huwa alienda akamwonyesha ile kitabu yake yearbook. Akamwambia loyalty is a two-way traffic. If I'm giving it to you, then I'm expecting give it back. Akamwambia this is how you've been running your company. On the high, you don't, on the lows, you don't fire employees, and they hire you. So it's the same way. If you've been having a retainer client for a while, then for them they are loyalty to you. Awadia mko akasema msense squeezy hizi posters zake mazee ananichaji 20k na hata zi make sense. Na akaenda kwa mse mwingine wewe mse atakwambia mazee tunaweza badilisha concept tuone vile itakaa. Naona ni kama kuna vile we need to find something new. So that's a loyal client. Huyu ni ule through hata kama ile siku kwa chini bado mazee leo niko chini lakini tutafix. Huyu ni ule client mwenye amka one day kwambia because for you the market doesn't serve you only at itamka siku moja ikupatia 100 clients and then ulikuwa nayo so there are those retainer clients music like always value loyalty. But for project based usiogope kutuma quote.
quote of the day, Usiogope kutuma quote.
Yeah.
It's actually your territory uphold.
Yeah, so I'll say also the same. Lumesema, I think I've learned that loyalty, and most of my retainers have just been loyal for the longest time. There are those that are on as a look at now like payment, but at a come suit.
Exactly.
Taliban.
Yeah, they pay.
So retainers are good thing.
Retainers na wanakulisha, mimi naona hivyo.
Umeenda retainer for a year. Na nito nakupatenga job kila wakati. I never throw that person. Huyu ni mzee atakubill.
Akikupiga hivi 3 am una receive. Ulikuwa na diet.
So me, I think hata kwa when it comes to the market, I think the best thing you need to do is provide loyalty. Ule mwenye atakuja akwambia expensive, sawa basi, it's okay, and you move on with your life.
Tumeongelea mahali poster. Watu wele podcast na umeingia kwa inbox yangu mapuburi kama bakers want it. No. Right? So umesema calls ikiwe work free.
No, they don't. They have never.
Yana na ukopa kujaribu. Ushaifanya calls? Ujai? Too bad.
Calls have never worked for me. Nasikia ndio kitu, amka tuma 10 emails 20 a day, 50. Majaribu. Client anakuambia thank you for, we'll let you know.
But Alex, unajua Alex for Moses up there is what?
Yeah.
The business marketing who talks about business how to. Yeah. Akona kitabu fulani anatusaidia kutuma calls. Talk to it out. But when we hear that there is someone, I don't know.
But wewe mamia na mtu saizi uandike ni in Kenyan market will never work.
Thank you.
It will never work in Kenyan market. Hata uandike Kiingereza inakaa aje, hata utumie Shen, hata utumie sijui lugha uchanganye all 42 languages we have in Kenya. It will never work.
So ni udanda ama ni ugumu ama ni kiburi? Ama yote?
I think market yenye tuko nayo ni like unaweza pata, I'm used to having certain designer. Another problem ya Kenyan market ni kickbacks. So unapata most these guys when you're deal na story ya seme kama procurement, these are the guys who deals with kickbacks. Wewe umetuma email, me I don't know you, why should I engage you? Even marketing managers, they're getting kickbacks from agencies. You just another guy you're sending email, you're looking for work. They'll never give you, they don't know you. Don't waste your time. That's the best thing I can advise someone. Don't waste your time.
Afanye aje, atapata aje client wako?
You'll send emails, you'll change emails, send them again. At how will you get clients?
Atapata aje client wa kwanza?
I think nowadays most clients utapata online.
Online.
Sio ni call calling.
Aje. Wapicha pole pole.
For me personally, I've got clients online. Wamekuwa na DM.
Wewe una post nini yako?
Sikizi nimekuwa mzembe.
But ulikuwa na post ama how did they know that you design and you design?
I think for designers, who wanasema like if you don't put yourself out there, how will people know you're there?
So lazima tu.
Dio mimi ni ile mimi yesi tawadanganya mimi nimekuwa mzembe of recent due to some other reasons, but for a design I think even most clients nowadays who wanatafuta designers online. The best way is, and I've seen some of my friends when you're wakifanya recent, they've been getting clients. They've been showing the behind the scenes. Unaonesha like, for a start, you don't need to have that serious project. Go out there, tafuta kama angalia like ilo logo ikai poa, then come anza kuonesha wase how you do your thing.
But tunaongelea entry level, sio? Bado tunaongelea someone come.
Even you, this thing works for everyone.
Personally, I disagree. My opinion though.
Unajua shida ni unajua shida ya online hii. Sisi si hata online peke yake. Even us mostly, let me refer to Kenyans. Most of us, we want overnight success.
Yeah.
That is the problem. Especially as designers, we want overnight success. And it will never work when it comes to online. You need to grow. Hata mimi saizi I have 10 years experience, lakini kigi online, I need to start again like an amateur. You know, sunangani. Saizi nikirudi ati nimeanza kunda content za online of which I need to start doing. I need to go back and start doing like an amateur and start to grow. Because unapata like siku hizi hata wazae wako online. Unakuta mzee ako tu kwa matatu wako TikTok. Lazima kwambia market is there. Kwanza ya online, market is there. Even these big companies, unapata bingie marketing manager kwa TikTok ana mse kazi yake anakaa fiti, anaku-DM.
Okay.
So it's all about consistency.
I think
create consistency. Kwanza mostly kwanza video based. Hizo kuonesha mabi in the scene, how you una create brand identity, how you create your posters, where you get your assets. So a whole process. So you give someone in mind like this guy is a profession. Hata nikimpatia job anajua Kenya anafanya. Unlike wewe umekaa tu hapo hivi unakaanga tu hivi unategea tio ati clients watakuja. They'll never come. They'll never come if you don't go to hunt for them.
I think that's a whole topic for next time. No.
Yeah.
How to get clients, red flags, great flags, atom appreciation, right?
Yeah.
So as we are wrapping up, unaweza ambia nini kitu ya mwisho?
So for me, pricing technically is I still struggle with pricing, but I'm also overcoming that. As I nilisema tuma quote. If for us designers, if you believe in yourself, never be afraid of sending a quote. Lose that client, you'll get another one. Don't give up. I've tried to give up so many times, but here I am today. So never be afraid to send quotes. Clients are there. They'll always come. You'll always get a client who will be willing to pay what your value, because don't have sleepless night for 1,000 shillings of creating a logo. That's a waste of time. Lala njaa kunywa maji.
Umekuwa cardinal.
Or design flying kuza makreta.
So me by the way, for the past I think for the past 4 days I've been nimekuwa nikilala 5 am and naamka 8 because
Kilala njaa.
Sikulala jana, nilikuwa nafanya job. But the work I've been doing is for those clients that I know by the end of the day. Ni client wale nye, actually it's an agency. They are my client. For them, wakipata project, they pay me in full. Nikianza kufanya hivi job, the entire project wananilipa in full. Watasema tio sijeti ngoja timaliza kazi ndo tukulipe zi. Mimi nimepata wasema we have this contract, how much? This amount, wananilipa in full. I start doing the work. So for them, hata nikilala 5 am, me have no issue. Because si ati ni client ule mwenye hapana cha tukutumia 2,000 tukipata zi. So mimi sema usiogope kutuma quote when you designers, amateurs, those upcoming ones. Don't be afraid to send quote. You can bargain later, but usijipatie sleepless night because ya kunda ya batha.
Now it's very
I think what I've learned is either you are entry level or experienced. Most of us we are struggling with quotation, and there are so many things I've learned here.
patient.
There are so many things I've learned here, which is umapot to bargain adar.
Exactly. Sorry. And also another thing is, for designers out there, please try to educate your clients. Tell them the value you're giving them, not just being a design just because anyone can do a design on Canva.
Push pixels.
Yeah, be a real designer, not a Canva designer.
Watu wa Canva poleni.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Me, by the way, I used to work with. I won't mention names, but I used to work with someone and call a creative director. Now, the person they used to know the Adobe Illustrator, the Affinity Suits, the Figma, but they only know how to use Canva.
Si ana creative direct Canva.
Sawa, it's been a episode. Asanteni sana for tuning in. Kama umefika hapa, you obviously found value, and like, subscribe, share, come on. And thank you so much to our sponsors, Nafasi Connection. We're using their space. They have amazing Wi-Fi, streams, an amazing space in Mon, space in town, right?
Yeah.
Inaka vizuri, yani inakupea hamu kufanya kazi. Wako na jikoni, iko na kahawa, iko na sukari. So
Hautalala njaa.
Bye.
Bye.